In this video, we'll be learning how to divide multi-digit numbers. For most of these problems, we'll be using long division to find the correct quotient. Let's start with a simple example like 976 divided by 4. So we can write this problem out like this. So first, we have to ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 9? And the obvious answer is 2. So we do 4 times 2, which is 8, and subtract it from 9. Then we get 1. So we bring down this 7 and ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 17? And the answer is 4. Because 4 times 4 is 16. And then we subtract that again from 17. And we get 1. And finally we bring down the 6. And now we ask ourselves, how much times does 4 go into 16? Which is obviously 4, because 4 times 4 equals 16. So the answer to this problem equals 244. Okay, so let's try another example. So let's try dividing 14,904 by 24. And let's write it out like this again. Divided by 24. Okay, so first, let's think about how many times 24 goes into 149. So since we do 24 times 6 and get 144, we can find the difference, which is 5. Then we can just bring down the 0 again and get 50, and think about how many times 24 goes into 50, which is 2. And do 24 times 2 equals 48. And we get the remainder of 2. Now we can bring down the 4 again, and now we get 24. And since 24 times 1 equals 24, we get that 14,904 divided by 24 equals 621. Okay, so there are other cases like 480 divided by like 60, where we don't have to do long division. So we can try by doing division of 10 for both 480 and 60. So 480 divided by 10, we all know it's just removing the 0 at the end, which is 48. And for 60, dividing that by 10 is also removing 1 0, so we just get 6. So 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8. So 480 divided by 60 is also equal to 8. Let's try another example. So for example, 400 divided by 20. So we know that 400 divided by 10 equals 40. And 20 divided by 10 equals 2. So we get that 40 divided by 2 is equal to 20, which means that 400 divided by 20 equals 20 as well. Let's make sure that this answer is correct and try it out in long division. It's essentially just the same process, as we get how much times does 20 go into 40, which is just 2, and we get 40, and the answer is just 0. So we just add the 0 at the top and get 20 again. So another method you can find the quotient is by rounding. So for example, if we get 593 divided by 27. Since it may be hard to find the quotient, we can just round each number to the nearest whole number. Like 593 is pretty close to 600, and 27 is pretty close to 30. So we can estimate that this is around 20. So let's try this out quickly. So 593 divided by 27. So we get that 27 goes into 59 2 times, which equals 54. This goes 53. So 27 goes into 53 one time. And then as a remainder of 26. So it's going to be this decimal 21 point something, which is close to 21, which is close to 20, which means that the rounding does work.